Rip Van Winkle. Chapter 1. The Catskill Mountains change color at different times of the year. Many people think that they are magic mountains. It is 1769. In a village near the Catskills lives a friendly man. His name is Rip Van Winkle. The village children love him. Rip loves doing nothing all day. But when the men of the village ask Rip for help on their farms, he always goes and helps them. And when the women of the village ask Rip for help, he never says no. Rip is always ready to do his neighbor's work, but he never works on his farm. The Van Winkles have two wild children, Rip and Judith. Young Rip always wears his father's old clothes. Morning and night, Mrs. Van Winkle tells him that he is lazy. Rip never answers her. This makes her angrier. One day, Rip leaves his wife at the farm. He calls his dog Wolf, and they go for a walk in the mountains. In the late afternoon, Rip sits on one of the mountains. For a long time, he watches the beautiful Hudson River. Soon, the sky is dark. Rip's wife always gets angry when he comes home late, so he must leave now. When he goes down the mountain, Rip meets a stranger. The man has something on his back. The stranger isn't very tall. He's fat, his hair is wild, and he's wearing old Dutch clothes. He wants Rip to carry the barrel. Rip walks up the mountain with the man. Sometimes he carries the barrel to help him. The stranger says nothing. After a time, they meet a number of men in the mountains. They are all playing an old Dutch game and wearing old Dutch clothes. The man with the barrel gives them all a drink. Everything is quiet. Nobody smiles, and nobody speaks. When the men begin to play again, Rip has a drink. He feels thirsty, so he drinks more and more. Soon, Rip is tired. His eyes close, and he goes to sleep. Chapter 2. When Rip opens his eyes, it's a sunny morning.
"Oh no,"
he cries.
"My wife doesn't like me to sleep away from home."
Rip remembers his night on the mountain. He stands up, but finds he can't move very easily. And where's Wolf? In the village, some children laugh at him. The buildings, the people, and their clothes are all different. Rip feels afraid. He finds his house with no windows or door. And where are his wife and children? Rip doesn't understand. Just then, he puts his hand to his face and finds he has a long white beard. he runs to the village inn. Over the door, the picture of King George has new clothes and a new name, George Washington. Rip doesn't know any of the people in front of the inn.
Does nobody here know Rip Van Winkle?
He asks.
Yes, that's Rip Van Winkle next to the tree.
One man says. Rip sees a young man in his clothes.
Is that me?
He thinks. But before old Rip can speak to him, a young woman next to him says to her baby,
"Quiet, Rip."
He hears the baby's name and turns to her.
What's your name?
He asks.
"Judith."
She answers.
And your father's name?
"Rip Van Winkle."
She says.
And where is he?
"Nobody knows."
She says.
After his walk into the mountains 20 years ago.
And your mother?
Rip asks.
"She's dead."
Judith says. Then Rip laughs.
Oh, I'm your father!
He cries.
Young Rip Van Winkle then, old Rip Van Winkle now. Don't any of you know me?
An old woman looks into Rip's face.
"Yes, it is Rip Van Winkle.
She says.
After 20 years. Welcome home, old friend."
Rip tells his story of the men in Dutch clothes and their strange game in the mountains. Some people think he's mad. But one old man cries,
"I think old Rip's story is true. Every 20 years, they say, the ghost of the Dutch explorer Henry Hudson comes back with his men to the Catskills. Those strangers in old Dutch clothes were Hudson and his men."
So old Rip goes to live with Judith, and his son goes to work on the old farm, sometimes. And every day, without his wife there to tell him he's lazy, old Rip goes to the inn, has a drink, and tells his strange story to the visitors staying there.